So now let's look at how you could, apply the policies at a base level, but still not have the policies applied for the custom authorization API. So if I go here, if we have deployed from my previous sample, what you would see is custom authorization, for example, has no backend policy apart from set backend. Uh, while if I go to any of the other ones, so if I go to backend API, I could see there is a policy which makes, which expects certain headers, then which makes call to the backend API, custom authorization API. But what we want to now do is we want to apply this whole policy across all the APIs except custom authorization. So what I'll do is I will take this part, right? So this, assuming all of this is same for all of my, APIs, I'm going to take this away. Let me just make sure I take everything correctly. Yeah. Let's save this here. Let's go to all APIs to begin with, and let's add policy here in the inbound, right? So inbound. So this is like a base policy. This will be applied to everything. So it's always good to check if there are headers in place, and if there is any, if it will make call to the custom authorization. Now, one problem we will get is, okay, custom authorization is also one of the APIs in this set. So let's go and make sure it doesn't call itself again and again. So what we can do is we can go here, and what we can see here is, there is base, which is basically calling to the base class or base APIs. So we will just delete that from here. So it will not call any base policies, that is any policies applied to the all APIs level. That's done. Now also let's go to the backend cert, similar example, right? And we had similar, so we can actually simplify this. So let's just go and delete all of that because that's already been captured. And that's us done. So if I go back to my custom authorization to start with, if I say test, right? So I want to test, let's say, get authorization, and if I send it, I should see, the response back from my authorization without going into that loops. It's going to ignore the base policy. So we can see it's coming back okay, and of course it's saying active false because that's what it was expecting a header. It's not there. If I was to then go to my backend API, but before I go there, actually let's have a look at trace. So trace came in, inbound. This was a call that was requested, and then it made a call to the backend, which was our backend function straight away. It did not apply the policies which were applied, which we specified in the all APIs. Now let's go to the backend API in this example, and let's do the same. So this time let's add a header called custom header, and let's call it some random number here. So if it's all right, we should see 200 okay with the weather information. So usually this can take time initially because I have just saved the policy, so it might take time that way. So we can see here, 200 okay, and the data has come back. If I look at trace, then it will give us all the information, right? So we made an inbound call, and then we made a call to the backend somewhere here. Let's look. So we then made a call to the backend, right? Custom authorization, and then that made call to the authorization function. Yeah. And then finally we made a call to the weather forecast. So that's hopefully that helps. Thank you.